the compliments from people kind of praising me for losing weight that I didn't need to lose, it really did like help kickstart a full-on eating disorder.
Well, shit, that's some pretty heavy stuff. You know, for once, they're kind of right that it isn't always a compliment, but that doesn't mean it's always an insult. Sometimes it's just a neutral, general observation that, hey, you've lost weight. I don't see what's so offensive about telling someone or noticing something about someone that they've lost weight. I fail to see what's wrong with that. I don't see how that's body shaming or bullying or anything like that. But as we know with this lot, it is bullying.
You know, your aunts or uncles or your parents, whatever, might say something to you thinking that it's just an observation.
Because it is. Even I've been told I've lost weight, and I'm a 28-incher. As in, my waist is 28 inches. I've been told I may lose weight. I do lose weight because I've got quite a fast metabolism. And I don't get offended. I just say, no, I don't particularly feel like I have done, and then I check to make sure, and lo and behold, yes, because my pants aren't holding up as well. I don't know if I was meant to be open there, but hey, you learn something new about me every day, people. The chances are, they're your family, they're concerned about you because you are a thin person. Most of you are thin, in fact. I can't see any fat people so far, and as far as I'm aware, they're probably worried that maybe you're a bit ill, or maybe you need to gain weight in order to keep healthy, because everyone has the perfect weight for them individually. And we know that if you go underweight, let alone overweight, you risk health problems. You have to be in the middle in order to be healthy. But hey, whatever. It's an insult to you, so we're going to move on.
I know that people mean well when they say, especially like, you look good, have you lost weight?
Well, then stop complaining. If you know they mean well, why are you complaining? Are you just looking to be offended? Oh, wait.
You would think that like getting comments about your weight and how you look is always going to be like a positive thing if it's like a positive comment.
Well, I don't know about you, Captain Illogical, but I do know that if it's a positive comment, chances are there's positivity involved in said compliment or whatever they're saying, and no possible wrongdoing can be sussed from this. But because you're a social justice warrior and everything's an insult to you, basically, yeah, something's wrong. There's something wrong hidden underneath all the positivity, and you've got to get it.
Do you know what the first sign of madness is? Paranoia.
When I was 15 years old, I was put on this medication, and a side effect was weight loss. And this girl came up to me, she's like, oh my God, Mandy, I want your hip bones.
Okay, so a girl was envious of you for having nice hip bones because you lost weight, and thus the shape of your hips were revealed to the world, and she liked them. But that's problematic because?
Over like a year and a half, I lost like 20 more pounds. The compliments kind of stopped at some point because it really became obvious that it wasn't good anymore.
But they didn't know you were ill. Just because they're ignorant of it doesn't mean they're ignorant out of malice. They just didn't know. And yes, the compliments stopped because they noticed you were ill. You lost so much weight that you were actually unhealthy. That's why it stopped. Because it wouldn't have been appropriate to compliment you looking, I assume, very sickly looking. Can you not understand? That's why they stopped complimenting you. It wasn't that they found you ugly or anything. It's just eventually, you know, there's only so much you can do. I don't know. They're just being human. What more can I say? What, did you want more compliments after that? I don't know. You should know that when you look unhealthy and sickly, you're not going to get complimented much. It's logic. Again, none of you can logic very well.
In college, I went through a really tough time where I was starving myself, essentially. People were reinforcing it by saying like, oh, you look like so great, like look so fit. I was not fit. I was not fit mentally, and I was not fit physically.
They were not reinforcing anything, mate. They were ignorant of your illness or whatever was wrong with you. And, you know, I'm not going to try and be sexist here, but it's obvious you're a man and you didn't want to tell them about it. And you weren't open about it. So they assumed You looked alright. To them, you looked alright. You don't have to look ill to be ill. We know this. But at the end of the day, you should have told them that you weren't feeling well. Were these your friends? Were these strangers? If these are your friends, you should have told them. Maybe they could have helped you. Obviously now you're okay, but they weren't reinforcing anything. If anything, that was you, mentally. You were the one not sorting yourself out and making it worse. Thankfully, you seem to have got the willpower to stop that, but that wasn't them. It was you.
I lost a lot of weight. Like I went from maybe like a 12, 10 to a 6, 4. When I came back for the summer, like before I even said hello to people, everyone was like, oh my God, you look so great. You look amazing. I didn't really know how to feel because I didn't lose the weight on purpose and I didn't lose it in a healthy way. Like I was just really sad and depressed that whole school year.
I feel for all your depressions and all your illnesses, but stop blaming other people, okay? They're not at fault here. They didn't know. You can't see depression. You may be able to see people looking sad when they're depressed, but you can't actually see it. It's a mental thing, isn't it? They didn't know. They simply didn't know, and they weren't reinforcing anything. They weren't causing any trouble. It was the reaction from you guys. There's literally no other people here to blame. I'm not blaming you for your illnesses or your depressions, but I'm blaming you for your reactions to these people. You don't seem to realise that a lot of it's all you guys. There's a reason why I played that clip from the thick of it. That is the first sign of madness. Paranoia. You lot are all paranoid, and you seem to be blaming other people instead of yourselves, and you don't realise that a lot of it is you. And the only people who got you out of that was you. You're all a bunch of weird contradictions, really. You truly are. It's crazy.
I lost a ton of weight after a really bad breakup, and I remember going out for the first time in like months, and my friends looking at me and being like, oh, you look so good, you lost so much weight. I had like conflicted feelings. I was like, yeah, I'm thin and now I can like go out and get a better guy, but at the same time I was like, well, I'm thin because I've been lying on my bed for the past month and a half.
Did you consult any doctors about your depression, for losing your boyfriend or anything like that? Again, these people didn't know you were depressed. These people didn't know. You didn't tell them, none of you told any of these people about your problems, and you're blaming them for your problems and causing other problems somewhere. It's this whole thing like you do a certain thing and it will basically cause this other thing to happen or to continue to happen. And it just doesn't hold up because these people are doing nothing wrong. They're saying, oh, you look lovely. Have you lost weight? You've lost weight. You look amazing. And you took it as a compliment, but also at the same time you're like, but I really don't know what to say about that. I really don't.
After I gave birth, people were already mentioning that, hey, you look great, and hey, you know, you're already losing the baby weight. A lot of women are posting their progress throughout their pregnancy and then their progress post-pregnancy. So there's a lot of pressure to be able to keep up with that.
That's you putting yourself under pressure. These people are simply posting diaries and progress reports on their life after giving birth. They're not trying to put you under pressure. You're putting yourself under pressure. A lot of this is all of you putting yourselves under pressure, making yourselves feel bad, taking things the wrong way. And I used to do that too, for different reasons, but you have to get over that. You have to realise that not everyone is out to get you, not every compliment is a backhanded insult or whatever, and nobody's trying to reinforce these stupid roles or what have you. It's all in here. You lot are doing it yourselves. You're making yourselves ill in many cases or depressed. And notice how every single thing is the same. Everybody says the same thing over and over again. Like, you look good, you've lost weight. Even though every single story is a positive thing. Like, they say it because they think these people look great. And they're being nice to these people, yet somehow that's wrong. How is it wrong? In that context, it's not wrong. But then again, they're trying to use the ignorance of these people against them. And that's not fair. That doesn't count. These people didn't tell their friends and family, what have you, their problems. Yet, they're going to blame them anyway. I'm sorry, you know, ignorance can be attacked. But then there's that ignorance. where you simply have no idea because nobody told you, and it's not your fault if you make them hurt or what have you. And I think that's wrong. Ignorance can be bliss or not bliss, etc, etc, but in this case, it's not their fault.
It like created this pressure and this fear of what happens if I don't keep it up, if I don't maintain it.
No, you did. You created that pressure. They didn't. They just complimented you and went about their days. You mulled over it and obsessed over it, and because you're all social justice warriors, there's also this personal political thing, and that's causing issues for you as well. And again, it's all you guys. It's you guys internalising all this shit and going, oh my god, what do I do, what do I do? I've got to keep this up because society, even though it's not society, it's all you. It literally was all you, and you're all in denial. You're blaming other people for problems that you've caused yourselves. It's weird. It's a weird thing. Originally, it wasn't your fault that you lost weight and was depressed, but then it then became your fault because you were overthinking things and ascribing things to people that they didn't actually do. It's fascinating, it really is. I don't want a victim blame or do anything like that, but that's just how it comes across. Half of it is not your fault, but half of it is.
I think in general, we have to take a little bit more of an emphasis away from the number.
Wait, do you mean the number that your weight is? I don't know what you mean by that. That makes no sense.
Complimenting somebody's weight, I don't think is the best compliment you can give, period.
Only because you're insecure about your own weight. Listen, love, alright? Compliments are compliments. There are no good or bad compliments. There are no, this is the greatest compliment ever, this is not the greatest compliment ever. Compliments are compliments. Take them. Appreciate them, because you won't get them every day.
I feel like not all weight loss is intentional.
No shit, Sherlock. Next thing you're gonna know, you're gonna tell me the sky is blue.
Just tell them like, hey, you're looking great today. Even if it's just saying like, hey, cool shirt. You don't need to make it about weight.
Mate, I don't think you've been in this video for a long time, but a lot of the things that people were complaining about were people saying that they look good. Literally everything. Oh, you look good. And then, oh, you've lost weight. You look good. People were complaining about that. I don't think you've got the memo here. There's always one person in these Buzzfeed videos who just says the opposite of everything else, yet they think it's the same.
I liked it when people said, oh, like your chest is out. Like, I don't know, like something that noticed my newfound confidence.
Again, that's exactly what they were doing, and you took it the wrong way before, but now you're gonna take it a different way? That really is the definition of madness. That really is just complete and utter madness. Not only are you lot depressed and taking everything personal politically as well, you're also fucking mental.
If I'm happy with myself, then it's all good.
Now I have no sympathy. Fuckity bye.